Hello and welcome back to Foundation Fabs or Flushes. Today's foundation is a suggestion from my friend on Instagram, Bibiana Does Makeup, and surprisingly I actually bought this foundation when I was on holiday in Poland. I'm talking about Sephora Matte Perfection Foundation. I know you can't get this in the UK, however maybe if you are visiting the US or any other country in Europe, almost every European country has Sephora. We just happen to not have one. Let's make a petition to bring Sephora back, shall we? Anyway, today I will be testing this foundation, so if you would like to see how Sephora Matte Perfection Foundation covers acne and how long it wears on an oily skin, just keep on watching. So I realise now I did a very stupid thing when I was on holiday. I was already slightly tanned when I was trying to match this foundation, and I took a little bit on my hand. Seems the right colour, but I didn't let it set, and because this is a matte foundation it could go a little bit darker when it does set. I'm scared this might not match me, but we shall see. It's here now, I can't change it, I just scratched my chin. I've got the shade 22 Natural, but before I put this on I will be reading a little bit about it. Funny thing happens when I type in Sephora.com, it just straight away redirects me to a French website. It must be seeing my location and you'll be shopping outside of Europe, and it tries to throw me into European, a local Sephora. So instead of trying to translate French, I decided to go on the Polish Sephora, and then I'll be able to translate. I am translating it, so it's not going to be entirely accurate. We just want to know roughly what this foundation does. Sephora describes this as a fluid foundation from Sephora collection which will give you a long wear effect, matte, even skin tone. Very easy application formula allows this matte foundation. This is actually so much harder than I thought because I'm trying to include every word that they use. Very delicate and easy in application formula, perfectly combines matte finish, full level of coverage and longevity. It covers all the pigmentation, it smooths and masks imperfections, giving you ideal effect throughout the day. Formula includes pigments for a perfect amount of coverage. It is waterproof and it doesn't smudge. It doesn't include oils and it doesn't give you a oily film. Apply with a brush. Interesting. As always, I will be using both the sponge and the brush. This foundation gives you a matte finish, full coverage without compromising the comfort. Sounds very good. Sorry about the translations, I did my best. I actually bought this for 56 zloty, which is probably around 12-13 pounds for 30 ml of product, a standard amount, which makes this a drugstore foundation. Even though it's Sephora and they do carry Huda Beauty, Too Faced, all those high-end brands, this particular product and most Sephora products are more of like, in here I would compare them to like a Kiko Milano price, which is just ever so slightly higher than a standard drugstore, but not quite high end. But I've talked enough, let's zoom it in and let's get started. Like I said before, I've got the shade 22 Natural. Hopefully this is gonna match me. I'm going to pour some out. Ooh, as expected, it is very thick. It does have a slight scent. I do have a little bit of description here. Matte finish, transfer resistant, long wearing comfort, oil free, dermatologically tested and non-comedogenic. Will this become my new favourite foundation? Because so far it sounds like it. As always, I will start with a sponge on one side of my face. Let's get it started. And straight away we can see this will be very high coverage and potentially full coverage. Okay, so this is one side of my face with one layer of the foundation applied with a sponge. Most matte foundations build very, very well because that matte base and the wet layer stick together really well. However, sometimes the foundations can be too matte and the wet layer lifts off the dry. So we're gonna see what happens here. However, before I layer, I'm gonna let this set fully. So I'm going to move on to my brush side. This might and probably will give me a better coverage because the brush doesn't soak up the product. This so far reminds me of NARS Luminous Weightless Foundation. Just like that one, this foundation has better coverage with a brush. And surprisingly, doesn't look super streaky. I will go on top of it with the sponge, really push it into my pores. And this is the other side of my face with one layer of the foundation applied with a brush. I really, really like it. I'm excited. This might become my new favorite foundation. I do like the brush side just a little bit better because it has better coverage. This side has set to a very comfortable matte finish. Again, very similarly to NARS, this is like just ever so slightly more matte, but I would still call this a natural matte. It just looks like skin. It doesn't look like I've packed on loads of powder on top of it. Okay, let's build this up. This is going to be a good day. This is my face with 2 layers of the foundation applied with a sponge. It definitely builds. It's on a verge of full coverage. Like, you know what? No, it is full coverage. It's so high, I must say it's full coverage, and I'm so happy because it actually doesn't change colour when it sets. It's not that different. However, as always, I like to test different formulas with foundations like cream bronzer and concealer and powder. So today, you already know I'm going to be using Revolution Matte Base Concealer to warm up the perimeters of my face. It looks fine, blends in fine, doesn't disturb the base. It blends in really, really well. Definitely has a little bit of sheen. The more I look at the foundation, the more natural it's looking. For my concealer today, I'm taking a product that's also not available in the UK. I do apologize, you guys, but I do really like this concealer. So if you do get a chance to snatch it, it's really, really good. I'm taking Catrice Liquid Camouflage. To set my under eye, I will be using Fenty Beauty Setting Powder and Butter. That was just flawless, no effort there. The concealer blended in really, really nicely. So did the powder. Powdered this spot, I don't want to lose coverage on it. I'm going to brush off the excess powder from underneath my eye, and with the tiniest little bit of Fenty Beauty powder, I'm going to set my forehead, my chin, and whatever's left on the brush. Just gonna swirl it all over. And as you can see, I've just graced my face with powder and it still has like a little bit of sheen. I don't want it to look super matte. It is 10 to 10, so 10 o'clock. I'm gonna get on with the day and I shall see you in 2 hours. 2.5 hours in, I haven't done anything else to my face because I'm thinking of filming another video whilst I'm wear testing this foundation, or at least like practice another makeup. There is a competition over on P. Louise Base Academy on Instagram and you can win £500. I could do with £500 and I could do with winning a competition like this, but 2.5 hours in and this is what my face looks like. I absolutely love it. It looks a little bit less matte than it did initially. I did powder all over, and now my oils are coming through in the center of my face, and to be completely honest, I prefer that look. It doesn't look dry. It looks very, very natural, even though it's full coverage. Oh, I've got a bit of my breakfast on my face. Sorry about that. As you can see, the coverage is still there. Like I said, the only difference I can see is that my chin is slowly shiny, the cheeks next to my nose a little bit, and the center of my forehead. This amount of luminosity, this amount of dew, I absolutely love. Blown away by it so far. I hope it stays true. I hope it is long lasting, and if it is, for the discount, for the sale price that it is at the moment, it is an absolute bargain. Right, I shall see you in 2 more hours. Hour number 5, ignore what my eyes look like. Like I said in my previous check-in, I'm actually experimenting on a different makeup look, but this is what my face looks like on hour number 5. I do need to blot because as I was doing this makeup, I was brushing off fallout and the foundation wherever it was a little bit more oily. I actually did disrupt that base with my brush, so let me blot first. Quite a lot of the foundation on my blotting paper. Let's see, the only disruption I can see is happening in the middle of my face. So the tip of my nose looks a little bit patchy, and the areas that I disturbed earlier. Other than that, this foundation looks great. It's not cracking. There's a little bit of collection of the foundation in my forehead lines. Maybe just a little bit of coverage missing in this area. But on the other side, it looks flawless. It looks exactly the same as I put it on. I'm really happy with this foundation. But we're not done yet with the day. It is only hour number 5 and I'm gonna carry on with my day, do stuff, do makeup, edit videos, and I shall see you in a bit. Alright guys, hour number 7 and here we go. As we can see, the coverage is still there. I am a little bit shiny, so I'm gonna blot. This is my blotting sheet. It's mostly oil, and this is my face after blotting. You can just see, if I angle my face, that there's like a bit of redness here and this spot. For hour number 7, this isn't bad, but it's definitely not as good as NARS Luminous Weightless Foundation, and it's definitely not as long wearing as L'Oreal Fresh Wear. So this is good. I like the finish. I still like the price. The majority of my face looks pretty great. I'm really happy with it. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Alright, time to take this makeup off. It is hour number 10 and I'm just ready to take it off, do my skincare and like chill. However, before I show you what I look like, I will blot because you'll be able to see what it looks like without it reflecting light. Okay, so this is my blotting paper. Of course, this transfer, but we can deal with that. I actually don't look that bad. This is very long wearing foundation. I do agree with the claims. My forehead looks really good. On my nose up to like here, it looks really good. If you have oily skin, it will become, you'll know what I mean, when like the oils come to the surface, they mix with the foundation and it becomes creamy again. It's very easy just to, you know, budge it. However, it did hold up really well overall on my cheeks. On my jaw, this side looks a lot better than this side. However, as we can see, it's still there. It doesn't look bad for 10 hours of wear. This looks really good. It does have like a natural matte finish, so it can literally be for any skin type. Overall, really good foundation, and I really like it. I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You are the best. I hope to see you next time.